Holy look at all this damage!
Hey everyone, I'm the Chilled Spirit, and today I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be playing as Baron Samedi, and this is going to be a how-to video. And without further ado, let's get right into this video. I'm going to read the abilities and everything he can do. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe if you like this video. It really helps me out a lot. Vivid Gaze is his square ability. Baron Samedi animates two skulls, both which briefly warmed up before firing two beams of voodoo magic that damage enemies. The beams cross over wherever Baron was aiming. Enemies hit by both beams take 15% damage on the second hit. If the enemy is hit above 30 hysteria, their physical power, magical power, and attack speed are reduced. His consigned spirits. Baron Samedi guides restless spirits to the ground and buries them. After a brief delay, the ground erupts, damaging enemies standing in the area. If the enemy is hit, friendly spirits fly from the area and heal allies near the explosion or by Baron. If the enemy is hit and is above 30 hysteria, the friendly spirits cleanses allies' slow effects and increases their movement speed. Wrap it up. Baron throws his snake forward, wrapping an enemy and dealing damage 0.5 seconds for 2.5 seconds and applying a ramp to root. If a god is hit above 30 hysteria, the snake will also lash out at a nearby enemy who stands too close after 1 second. Enemies hit by this are injected with venom and applies a ramp to root and deals the full damage over time immediately. His ultimate, which is called Life of the Party, Baron pulls the souls of the living towards his coffin, becoming immune to crowd control and taking 35% reduced damage. Enemy gods within the range are caught in a vortex, dragging them towards the coffin and taking damage every 0.33 seconds. When an enemy gets too close to the coffin, their soul is ripped out, causing them to be stunned and take a large amount of damage based on their maximum health, and gain max hysteria. This ability persists for 3.5 seconds or until the enemy is pulled to the coffin. If targets being pulled are above 30 hysteria, the pull strength is increased. Now, if you guys didn't notice, 30 hysteria is very important throughout his whole build, so that you have to be careful if you haven't built up enough hysteria on that person. So his passive, which is called hysteria, which you've heard about through his other 4 abilities. Baron shares Baron's Brew, a powerful restorative chalice with his allies from the item shop. Enemies hit by Baron will have hysteria applied to them. Baron's abilities interact with hysteria to provide bonus effects, which is very important. Targets at max hysteria take 20% additional damage from Baron. Now I'm jumping right into the gameplay. And so I edited out things that I didn't think were necessary at the time when I was editing this video. And so now I'm doing the voiceover. So one of my first tips is basically as Baron in the beginning, like the very beginning, under 10 minutes, and even a little bit after 10 minutes, you should play safe. Because as you can see right now, I'm kind of standing my own ground against 2 different people for some reason. The Merlin wasn't really attacking me, but he was, and I did take quite a bit of damage, but I didn't die from it. But early in the game, of course, it's way easier for me to die because I don't have, my healing doesn't do as much. Right now I have every level in my healing, and I have all my levels in my square as well. I suggest that you still fall back and let the minions stay and meet in the middle, because if you do that, if you do get ganked, you'll stand a higher chance of surviving the gank, and you won't have to worry about falling behind in level, which is very important and very bad if you're Baron. It's very bad if you're playing any character, but it's definitely bad when you're trying to make a big difference as Baron on your team. Because I guarantee that people are going to really try to push your lane once they see that you're actually good at playing Baron or a mid laner in general. Also, I want to let you guys know, if you didn't notice right there, Tyr, I rooted him with my circle, but he was still able to jump away. Anybody with a jump, a CC immune ult, a dash like Agni, or a teleport like Susanoo or Merlin, they can be big threats to Baron, but they can also escape Baron very easily. So that means that either you have to take precautions to predict where they will land so you can play aggressive enough to catch them even if they do dash away, or you have to play in a way that you can predict where they will land so you can get your X and regen your health so you will survive running away from the people that you need to get away from.
Thanks. Okay, on my way.
So right here, the combo is that I did on Cthulhu is circle, X, square, and then I use my ultimate. And the reason why I got closer to him with my ult is because I thought that he was going to dash away, but he did not, because he didn't have enough time. I didn't want to give him enough time to dash away, because people can also use their ults and get out of your ultimate.
Enemies in the left jungle.
And that information is very important because, like I said, if you root someone, don't expect them to get rooted immediately. They will only get rooted after they use their jump, their dash, their ultimate, or their teleport, because they'll be rooted once they land wherever they land with that ability that they have. Like if I, right there, if I rooted Merlin, he would have got rooted where he teleported, if that makes sense. And so next I want to talk about what you should max first. You should always max your sustain first.
I'm on it.
With Baron, maxing your sustain really works out very, very well because it makes you harder to kill. It makes you more of a threat on the map itself. So you're able to really stand your ground more than you would be if you max your square. It's called, not called, it's the build. The items in the build are called Pilgrim of Ages, Soul Gem, Shoes of Focus, Spear of Desolation, Soul Reaver, and Warlock's Staff. I like this build a lot because I feel like there's a perfect amount of penetration, and then there's also enough cooldown, because with Baron you need more cooldown, especially if you want to actually do a lot of damage and get a KD where you don't die a lot. Obviously that's also a build for mid lane Baron. I'm not talking about solo, or I'm obviously not talking about Guardian Baron. I suggest you build more health based items if you do those different roles. Preferably, I like playing him mid because I feel like that's where I'm more comfortable doing that. But also, if you guys are playing against any type of enemy that can heal themselves, just replace Spear of Desolation with Divine Ruin if you want to, or you can choose to change out one of the other items for Divine Ruin if that's what you want to do. Because Spear of Desolation is a pretty good item this season. It's really good. It's better. I think it's better than it was last season. Also, I really like Soul Gem on Baron because not only is he a healer himself, so he can heal people around him and himself, but Soul Gem gives you cooldown, and it gives you the ability to heal yourself after you've done so much damage. It'll like activate. And sometimes it activates just at the perfect times. I know there's been times where I've been low and I needed healing and I didn't have my healing available, and Soul Gem went off and healed me and gave me a good chance to survive that scenario that I was in.
Enemies behind us.
Another thing y'all should keep in consideration is Baron's clear in the very beginning is not good, which is why I said you should play passive. In the very beginning, you should most likely use your square, which is what I do because it can hit the whole entire wave. I unlock my square first, but I max my X first. So when I come out of the fountain, I always unlock my square as my first item so I can clear the wave, the minions. But I max my X before I max my square. So I get square, then I get my X, then I get my circle, and then I go back and I max my X. And so, for the most times, you should always do circle, X, and square. But if you're in a situation where you need to run away, I suggest you do circle and X by themselves. That's why I said earlier you might have to get into a place where you need to learn how to predict where people might go, which means you need to learn all enemies' kits. Like you need to learn the distance a Susanoo can teleport with his circle and stuff like that, so you'll be able to get away easier. A distance an Agni can dash, the distance a Merlin can teleport, just so you can get away. The distance Tyr can jump with his ult, distance Cthulhu. I'm sure you guys get what I mean. You have to learn these things, because if you don't, in certain situations, you could get wrecked quite a bit and you'll have a horrible KD. But obviously it takes practice and you'll learn. That's another thing I want to actually get to. Not only is taking into consideration how far people can travel with those different abilities, but also you should take into consideration that as well, so you can be able to get rid of them. And when you get rid of them, you can fight them easier and be able to snowball, which is kind of what I did in this match. One of their teammates ended up rage quitting. If you notice, when someone uses one of their abilities, it's really good for you, because you can actually know that you can focus this person without using your ult, which you can say that means you can save your ult for next fight. Which Baron's ult really doesn't have a super high cooldown, especially with this build. But I also think it's very important to think about, because you shouldn't have to feel as though you need to use your ult to secure a kill. In my opinion, some people might use their ult to secure a kill. I do that, but I'm just saying it's better to not do that and be more mindful of your surroundings and what people use, and look at their builds to see how long their abilities might be on cooldown. Also right here, he could have got me. He didn't focus me for some reason. He was literally so close to killing me. And I was able to just root him and X him, and he didn't have his ult anymore, so he couldn't do anything. He had used all his abilities on me, so all his abilities were on cooldown. Cthulhu had the right idea right here. He pushed me back and he cut me off and secluded me from my team. So I was all by myself, and he dashed to get closer. I missed my X, which was bad. I should have booted him then used my X, but I used my ult because if you remember what I read in the beginning, you take half damage when you are in your ultimate. Right here, this is the full combo. As you saw, I did circle, X, square, ult. I always use my ult just in case to secure kills, but I didn't know if Yoki had his ult. Like I said, people can dash out of your ult, and if they have CC immune ultimates, they can use that ult to get out of your ult as well. So I used my ult and got closer to him, and plus he was like max hysteria. So he was definitely probably not going to get away if he didn't have his ult.
Your team is destroyed.
So right here, Merlin he wasted his circle. He used it a little bit too early. I think either way he would have died right there because Nike had her jump up. But in the chance that Nike missed her ult, and plus he had, I forgot what they're called, but the boots, the little ability relic that makes you run faster, he probably would have got away if he timed it correctly. But he did not. So I rooted him and I just used my combo and killed him right there. I didn't know how low his cooldowns were, which is why I popped my ultimate. Which is why I said it's important to keep like tabs on what your enemy is building, so you can calculate in your head how much you think their abilities are, how long their cooldowns take when their abilities are used.
Retreat! Don't be glum. It's no problem.
Immortal!
Attack middle lane!
So right here, Tyr tried to attack me, and since I rooted him just in time, and like I said, it takes a second for the person to get stuck, he was going to try to hit me under the Titan and into his teammates, which would have made me get focused by the Titan, and it would have made me probably die right there, which would have probably helped them win that fight, because I'm the backbone of my team right now. But that was a great try by them. If you guys like this video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and it helps me out a lot. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, everyone.